stole my soul. Did give my love to someone else I didn't know. Why don't you love me like you loved me before? Why don't you love me like you loved me before? Oh!
Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Platform 32. My name's Ian Higton. That's how you spell it, if you forgot me, seeing as I've been away for a little while. But I'm back, so normal service should be resuming from now on. Fingers crossed. And today, I'm kicking off my return to streaming nice and gently, with a little bit of visiting my viewers in Google Earth, with a bit of a twist. I don't know if we'll get to visit any viewers this episode. Maybe we will. We're going to see how long it takes me to go through my my journey, because I don't know if you lot know. I didn't tell many people, but I went to Norway. I did a solo trip to Norway. I was umming and ahhing about it for ages, and then I finally was like, you know what, fuck it. If I don't do it, I'll be sat in this room, not doing anything, and, you know, I won't have anything to chat about or do interesting. Even though I went on my own, I was just like, fuck it. So I booked a bunch of stuff. Somehow I booked everything. Perfect. Like, I didn't do any fuck-ups with timing or locations or anything. I was very surprised. It was... everything went uncharacteristically well. There were absolutely no mess-ups until I got back to England. And then there was, of course, train delays getting me home. I should have been home like 12-ish, and I didn't get home until I can't even remember. It's like 2-ish or something, maybe. So yeah, at least the first part of this stream, maybe all of this stream, will just be me chatting about my my holiday, showing you where I went, what I got up to, some of the sights and stuff. If you want a companion piece for this video as well, I've put it in the chat in Twitch, and I put it in the chat in YouTube earlier. I'll pin it. There is an unlisted video on YouTube, which is all my holiday photos and videos to some chill music. It's quite a calm video. There's some talking in there occasionally where I ripped some Instagram stories just saying where I was and what I was doing, kind of thing there. But it's all, it's pretty chill. Lots of nice scenery, lots of views from the train windows and things. That video there might be a good thing to check out during this stream, so you can get an idea of some of the views I had when I was on the train and stuff. But yeah, so... normally I would take suggestions for places to visit from you lot, but hold your horses, don't drop any super chats or anything just yet, because I might not be able to get to you. We will see how we do, but obviously my journey basically started in Gatwick Airport, which I'm hovering around now, and it's, you know what, I've been to Gatwick Airport quite a few times, but seeing it in VR in 3D like this, I don't think I realised how bloody big it was. We'll have a proper look around Gatwick in a second. Let's do some shout-outs. We've got Gavin, Belgareth, Incognito, Samantha MB, Kate DeMonaco, who's a first-time chatter on Twitch. Hello. Dog Party Guy, you're chatting on Twitch. And then in live chat, we've got Offworld, Alexander Hansen, Apostate Wolf, Claire Trex, DCC0209, Dreadpool, EA122, Gavin EK86, Jamie ICT, Jan, Kirsty Hands, aka hello there. Oh, hi, lady. The Choir Boy Marks, Princess Whoosh, Priscilla Lopez, Santo Atheist, Strody123, Spider-Man 2899, Tala, Jonius, and Orion Abil. Welcome to you lot whom I'm chatting, and hello to everyone who's just watching as well. I can't read the comments once I'm inside here, so apologies, but hopefully you'll be Oh, Witch Please. Hello, Witch Please. Mug Patterson as well. Yeah, hopefully you'll be able to enjoy the show, even without me reading as many comments. That's where I'll be in 3 weeks as Princess Whoosh. Gatwick, not Norway. Oh. Did you run into any P32 fans in Norway, says DCC0209? I did not. I ran into literally no one. I had my own company for 3 days. It was terrible. But at least the views were good. Alright. There's something about doing a solo holiday. I started doing them because it was either I went alone or I didn't go, says Strody123. My friend Sonia does solo holidays all the time. She was instrumental in making me go to doing the drop or whatever it is. What's it called? Instrumental in making me do the thing. I don't know. You missed my parcel today while you were in London. Royal Mail emailed me about it, says Dreadpool. Hopefully they'll try. I'm in all day tomorrow, so hopefully they try to resend tomorrow, Dreadpool. I didn't get a note through the door. You know, I didn't see one anyway. Okay. Righty. I'd be utterly terrified, says Gavin. Actually, do you know what? I wasn't as scared as I thought I'd be. Once I was very nervous up to the start of it, and then once I got there, because I'd done a bit of research and a bit of planning, I kind of knew what to do, where to go. And you know what? It wasn't as bad as it wasn't as scary as I thought it would be. So this is Gatwick, and it's massive. When you come into Gatwick, you have to get the train. Well, I had to get the train, which I presume is this track here, which takes you into this big, North Terminal bit. And then somewhere in the North Terminal, I got on a Norwegian airplane. I don't know what part of the terminal it was. I don't think it was the South Terminal. But yeah, I got on a plane and I flew all the way to Oslo. Now, let's see if I can work this out myself. No, that's France. We're going up this way. Past Denmark. Sweden. It's next door to Sweden, isn't it? This is it. Okay, Norway. Okay, I found it. There's Gatwick over there. So this is Norway. Norway, incredibly big country. It's massive. I only did a slight portion of it, but it's this big lump here, and then I think it's split down there maybe, and that bit's Sweden. I'm not best on geography. Hold on, maybe we can find out if I do that. Does that? No, that doesn't help. How do we get the... Oh, fuck it. Yeah, Sweden, Norway. Alright, so anyway, I landed in Oslo, which I think is around here somewhere. No. Nope. I'm gonna... Is it... Wait. Is it this? Is this Oslo? No. That's Trifjorden. Fuck it. We're searching for it. It'll be quicker. Oslo Airport. Do. Here we go. So, landed here on one of these runways. Probably this runway. No, it will be this runway. Landed on this runway, one of these, and it was very grey and wet. And I'd been told that the weather was 100% rain for the entire time I was here. So I double packed my bag. I had shorts and t-shirts, and then I had like trousers, warm jumper, a rain mat thing, an extra pair of shoes. Didn't need any of them. I only needed shorts and t-shirts the entire time I was there, because although it was a little bit drizzly in England standards, it was a fine summer's day. So I was, I was wandering around, and even on the top of the mountains, I was wandering around on shorts and t-shirt because the sun was out and it was nice and warm. Everyone else was dressed in like, big like winter coats and things, and looking at me like I was nuts. And I was like, "What are you talking about? It's fresh as a daisy. I'm having a lovely time." Yes. Everything good, all good, yeah, no problems with sound and stuff, excellent. Alright, so, from Oslo Airport, you get there's multiple ways to get to Oslo city centre. I got on the train, which was 40 Norwegian, what was that noise then? Something went boom. Oh, it's Windows, oh, no antivirus. No things on the antivirus. Norwegian pounds. Kroner, is it? NOK. N-O-K. Is how they do it. But yeah, you get on the Flighterjet train, and it is like a direct, kind of like express train, all the way to, I think, is this it? No. I'm trying to see stuff I recognize. To here? Is this it? This is Oslo, but that doesn't look like the centre. I was here. So you follow the train tracks, and you go all the way to here. You get your little express train, and so this is Oslo Centre, and it's 3D modelled, excellent. So I got off the train. I was like, oh shit, I've done it. I'm in bloody Norway. What am I going to do? So first thing I did is I googled where the shops were so I could buy some sweets. I was like, a little bit intimidated. What makes me feel better normally? I know. Sweets. So I came out of this bit here, and that floor there it's flat. I don't know why there's a big hump there, but yeah. So I came out and I was like, shit, son, I'm in Norway. What the hell? This is crazy. I'm in Oslo on my own. What am I doing? And it was a lot greyer than this, and the floor was all wet because it had just been raining. But I was like, oh, well, I looked on the map on my way here, and the church was there, and the supermarket was to the right of the church. So I was like, right, I'm going to head towards the steeple. So started walking, and wait, did I take any photos? No. I started walking, got to here, and I was like, and this is quite an interesting, because I thought, oh, maybe I can go inside this, but it was quite late and most of it was closed. But I quite liked looking at this little building here, specifically like these statues on the wall. Oh look, he's in the Google car. But what I did was I turned right here and I went down here. Where was the supermarket I went into? It was called a Rema 1000. Have I got the right road? There was a lot of roadworks just then in that picture, and I'm not. That's thrown me a little bit. Wayne's Coffee. Oh, I don't know. Maybe I went a different way. There was a supermarket, unless this is old. I thought the supermarket was there next to McDonald's. Yeah. Well, anyway, picked up some sweets, got myself a bottle of water, got myself a banana for breakfast in the morning, And then I was like, well, I better go and find my hotel. Wait. Hold on, I actually think the supermarket was down there now, and the Google car can't go down. Oh. Was it down here? Oh, I don't know. Somewhere there was a supermarket I went to. I remember seeing this El Dorado sign, so it must have been around here. Or maybe it was up there. Maybe then I walked up here. Already my memory is faded. Yeah, I had a little wander around these streets. There's a Warhammer place there. Oh well. Looking at supermarkets isn't the most exciting thing you'll see on this stream, I hope. So let's ignore that. Now, if you're watching the video that I've posted, you will see a picture of that statue there. I went and took a picture of that statue, and it was just here. There's a photo of something called, it's like Oslo cheese truck or something. There was a big truck, just like a mobile cheese shop, just parked there. And I was like, fuck, I kind of really want to buy some Oslo cheese from the cheese truck. But I was like, listen, I'm traveling light. I can't buy anything until my last day, because otherwise I'll be hoofing it around Norway to take a photo of the church, I think, as well. But anyway, so I was like, oh yeah, take a photo of that. Better find my hotel though. It's grey and it's about 7 p.m. coming up to 8 p.m. at this point, and I'm like, well, I wanna explore before it gets dark. So I was like, let's find my hotel. Let's check my bags in, and then let's go for a wander. I wandered past this place, and I was like, that looks nice inside. It does look quite nice inside, but I didn't go in it. My hotel was down here. Lots of people riding bikes and scooters around, lots of Uber scooters and things. I nearly got hit by about 32,000 bikes because I did that tourist thing of like being new to a place and just, gawping and stuff, going, hey, where, huh? And then like, oh, I've stopped in an inappropriate place. So here's my first hotel, P Hotels. They'd sell ciabatta in there, allegedly. I was like up on the 3rd floor somewhere. It was cheap and cheerful. Whoa. I'm wondering if they've got any views of the rooms in the bubble of truth. Maybe. Sometimes they do. Not this time. Yeah, so my room actually was, my view was in here, was in this like bit here. So it wasn't a very nice view either, but so that was my first. It was behind the bus. That was my first kind of break where I put my bags down, like just composed myself, ate some sweets, and then I was like, right, look on the map. Okay, what's close? The palace. Let's go check out the palace. So I went for a walk, and I wandered. And I wandered all the way up here. Checked out the Irish pub. I was like, oh, no, Norwegian flags. Very nice. Wandered. I brought, so in my rucksack, I had one like normal sized rucksack that you can put on the hand luggage bit. And then inside, I put a smaller a smaller rucksack, which is just enough size to go under your seat for the size requirements, otherwise if they're too big you get charged and stuff. So what I did was I folded that up, put that inside my other rucksack, and then when I got to hotels and things, so I didn't have to carry all my clothes and stuff around, and I decant my important stuff like my passport, my wallet, my phone and my charger into my little bag. So then I had just a little bag, much easier to carry around. So I wandered all the way up here. Wandered up here. I stopped and looked at the seal. I was like, that's a nice little seal. Wonderful. What a lovely seal. And then I remember thinking, is that the palace? That looks a little bit like a palace, but no, it's further up. Not too much further up. It is. So I walked up these stairs. Is it going to let me go up there? No, I don't think so. So I walked up these stairs and across the gardens. I'm not going to be able to do that, so I don't think so. I'm going to have to go up the main walkway. But the main walkway is quite an impressive sight, and you get a picture like this in that video as well, but looking the other way. So I got to about here. Oh, it's not going to... Can I do it here? Like, that view straight down the road is like pretty awesome. It's just a really big straight line and like a nice view straight down. But I wandered up, took a few photos up here, recorded a video. I think there's a little me doing a joke about that being my new house and needing to get broadband installed. And I also I did a little joke tweet where I said I found the king and the queen of the lamppost people. It was that lamppost there. Those lampposts have crowns on them. And there was a guard, only one guard. There was one guard, there's two guards there, but that one was empty. But that guard was there. Now, I don't think I'm going to be able to go into the grounds with Google View, but maybe... So we'll go this way and see. But I wandered this way. Ooh. Yeah, you can kind of see the crowns on the lampposts. There's some twins. And yeah, these, like the lovely gardens were there. No connected photos nearby. So I wandered along here. Let's go up a bit because the trees are in the way. And I sat on literally that bench there to take a photo of the fountain, and again just to kind of like be like, wow, okay, I'm in Norway by myself. Well, me, wow, I'm a big boy now. Yeah, that was a nice little fountain. Not the most impressive lake and fountain I've ever seen, but because it was quite grey and it had just been raining, it was just me there was no other people. It was just me sat there, like taking it all in. While I was sat there, I started to get hungry for something more than sweets. So I looked for, like, I searched for traditional Norwegian restaurants, and the closest one was over in that direction. So I took a walk along this path here, came to here, had a little look there. Can we have a look? So I had a little look at the back of the palace. Yeah, there we go. Way more tourists here than there was. Like, it was literally empty when I was there. No guards on the back either. I walked that way. So, where are we? Here we are. So I walked this way. And down here. This is where I'll forget slightly. Oh yeah. I walked along this path down here, and I came out on the road here. So I came down this path here, onto here, crossed the road, and I started walking down there. So all the buildings around here look quite palatial anyway. I don't know what these buildings are, but it's very nice. And I didn't have to walk very far for food, because the place I went to was right here. It's called Den Glade Gris, and its speciality, you might be able to tell from the pictures, is pork. And in that video you'll see some pictures of the pork knuckle, mash, and the mustard sauce I had. It's one of their specials. They don't have a huge menu, to be honest, but the pork knuckle's one of the big ones in there. And this was also my first experience of a £10 pint. And it wasn't even £10. It wasn't even a pint. It was like, they do in centilitres, and it was like, there was no way it was a pint. I don't know how big it was, but like, no, I've had bigger glasses of squash. Definitely wasn't a pint, but it was. I was like, okay, that is 125 kroner for a beer. Okay, fine. I'll have that one. Yeah, thanks. And then I was like, so what is it? So it's 13 kroner to a pound. So that means 130 kroner is £10. So that means I've just paid £9.50 for a half a beer. What the fuck? So it was lucky the food was nice, because I was like, Jesus Christ. I did not try any fish balls while I was there, Andrew Steen. I did not. I'll give you a pork knuckle, says Gavin. Oh my God. Incognito says pork knuckle sounds dirty. Pork knuckle, if you don't know what it is, it's like pork on the bone. It's not like a trotter. I don't know what part of the pig it is, to be honest with you. But I've had it in Cologne before as well. It's really big in Cologne, where Gamescom is. And if you're a meat eater and you ever get a chance to try pork knuckle, you should try it. It is succulent pork on the bone, but also it is surrounded by like really like immense pork crackling. And it went really well with the mustard sauce and the mash as well. So I sat in there, probably I think just behind this wall. There's a little alcove. I was like, table for one, please. Table for one. I sat there and I was like, okay, I'll eat my food. Feels a bit weird, sat here on my own, eating some food on my own, but you know, I was listening to all the local Norwegians nattering, and you know, in their native language, Norwegian. So I didn't understand what anyone was saying, and it was quite dark in there, and you know, it smelled like the food and the beer, and you know, it kind of got me acclimatized a little bit. It felt weird. It did feel weird. Sat there on my own having a meal at first, but you know, in the end it was okay. Asked for my bill. Bill, var så snill. I didn't know what the Norwegian for bill was, but var så snill is please. Hopefully I pronunciated that correctly. And then tack is thank you, or if you want to be really polite, it's tusen tack. So I was like, oh, okay, tack. Occasionally I'd be like, thanks, and I'd be like, oh, attack, and they'd be like, ha ha ha, you'll do it. And then they'd say something in Norwegian, like it was probably like, you're welcome, but I didn't understand it. You're making me want to travel alone from now on, says Kirsty Hand. It's honestly, I was so nervous, but I'd do it again. I would do it again now. Editing the video, I'm not going to lie, I did get a little bit sad. That I was like, you know, all this beautiful stuff that I saw, and I didn't, you know, there was no one there to witness it with me. But you know, you lot are witnessing it with me now, and through the medium of the video I edited. So, not too bad, not too shabby. It could be the ankle, Dragon Botherer. You're right. Someone Google it. I don't know what pork knuckle is, really. It's tasty. All I know is it's tasty. Anyway, ate there, and I was like, okay, what time is it? It's getting dark. It was about 8 o'clock. I was like, oh, well, I gotta be up kind of early. I want to be up, I want to be out of the hotel by 9. My train to Myrdal was 12, and I'd seen while I was in the restaurant, I was googling what I was going to do in the morning, like planning out my day, and there's a fortress which we're going to in a bit, and I was like, you know, if I get up at 9, go to the fortress, it's like a 20-minute walk, so I can go to the fortress, I can have like an hour or so looking at the fortress, wander to the train station, get there for like 11:30, so I've got half an hour to work out where the train is and everything. I'll do that. So that was my thought process. So wandered back. Shit, where have I wandered to? Okay, I'm gonna have to work out where my hotel was again. It is here. Here. Wander back to the hotel. Fuck. Wander back to the hotel. Did I? No. It's on this corner, isn't it? Yeah. Wander back to the hotel. Went back in. I started chatting to Deli and Luke and Ray and all that. I was like, so I'm in Norway. It's nice. I had pork knuckle, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, it's like 9. I don't want to have come to Oslo and have like an early night. Like I want to see a bit more of Oslo. It's such a short time in each place. I want to make the most of it. I don't want to spend all the time in Oslo in a hotel room. So I looked for bars. I was like, well, you know, fuck it. I was going to eat cheap, but I've already had a £10 beer. I'm going to have another one. Had a look for bars and stuff to do, and in Google Maps I found a tap house, and I looked on the reviews. I looked at some pictures, and it looked pretty awesome. There are pictures and tweets. There are pictures in that video of the bar, of the interior of the bar. We'll go and see it now. So I was like, so I came out. It was dark, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna walk to this bar, and it's quite far. But I was like, why the fuck not? Like, what? I'm in Oslo. I'm just gonna do this 25-minute walk or whatever. Nighttime. Be part of the city. See the sights and sounds. So, back to the church. This way. And then got to this bit. Said hello to those statues again, and I went left here. And it's quite a simple route to the pub, really. An actual, like, straight walk all the way down. I'll come out the ball of truth so we can see. So this is the place with the statues. So I walked all the way down here, all through these buildings. Lots of people cycling around, sort of like people just wandering around chatting. And then I got to here, and I took a photo, stood there, this building here, because this is where the brewery, the tap house is, but not that exact building. So I went through there. So it's the Schosch Brewery, which is the Schosch Brewery, I think. It's not, I mean, it's got it up there as well, Schosch Brewery, but the actual building for the boozing, for buying the drinks, is actually this building here. And we can we? Yeah, here. So there is a picture of this door here, the Schuhkellerin, which I guess is beer cellar. There's a few pictures in the video of this place. Whether we'll be able to go inside it or not, we'll find out. But it's full of old of brewing equipment and things. And there was a board in there of all different types of beers, and you will be able to see a picture of that if you're watching along in the video. It doesn't look like I can show it here, but I like hazy IPAs, and there was a hazy IPA in there called More Cowbell, and then there was a stronger one called Even More Cowbell. And so in honour of the Power Cowbell, Emily and Blythe, I had a pint of Even More Cowbell, 7.5%. hazy IPA. Slightly bigger glass, but still didn't feel like a pint. It was a tenner, pretty much dead on. And it was nice in there. It was the kind of place, if you've ever been to a pub that's like built in a railway arch, kind of like it had an arched roof, like an underground like tunnel almost, and the seats like almost like pews, church pews, but tall. And they were playing like cool music in there. The guy behind the bar was like some Norwegian hipstery guy, and then there was like an American tourist sat on the bar talking his ear off. And then like I got my beer and I sat on a table by myself, and you know, groups of friends were coming in and getting beers and sitting down, and there was like boxes of board games on the sides. You know, you could pick up and play and stuff. And I sat there for about 40 minutes or so, sipping away at my pint, chatting on Facebook to peeps and things. And I was tempted to get another pint, but I was like, I don't want to go bankrupt. So I had that beer, and you know, I felt like by that point, after the walk and stuff, it was like gone 10, and I was like, well, I want to be up early. So I walked all the way back to the hotel, and I went to bed. And I didn't sleep very well, because I never do. But my alarm went off at 8. Hipster puppy and fit right in then, just going, oh my god. Yeah, so alarm went off at 8, got ready, checked out for 9, and then fucking hell, that's a big ship. And then I made my way down here. So yeah, down here to the fortress, which is like this, but there's a whole area of old kind of fortressy style buildings. I didn't see it from this side, but you know, you've got seawall kind of stone walls there and stuff. There's bound to be some pictures inside. What was interesting about this place and another fortress I visited in Bergen was that they had a heavy military presence. They had a heavy Norwegian army presence. Sections of the area, even though it was public, it was open to the public from 6 a.m. Sections of it were like boarded off for soldiers, and there were soldiers wandering around with guns, and there were soldiers wandering around with clipboards, and there was like they were pulling up in cars. And this area here, in fact, it was gated off both ends, military access only, it said. So all these like soldiers must have been like staying in there doing office stuff. I don't know whether they do drills, but there was some standing guard up top and things. I don't know whether this is a regular thing, whether they always are stationed in fortresses like this, or whether it's due to the Ukraine war and Russia being twats and probably eyeing up Norway and Sweden, and so they're all on alert. I don't know, but. Yeah, I was surprised to see a huge amount of soldiers, and also how fucking young they are. They all look like bloody university students. I saw a picture of the Munch Museum. Were you not tempted to go and see 3 versions of the Scream, says Andrew Steen? I had trains to get on. So what we've learnt here today is that Norwegian pubs will bankrupt you. Norwegian alcohol in Norway is the most expensive for a pint of beer I have ever witnessed, and I've had beer in London. I thought £8 pints were expensive, but like Norway, it's like ridiculous. So anyway, we'll forget about the army for now. I ended up here. And there's a lovely view of it right here. I ended up here, and did I do a video in this bit I feel like I might have done. Can't remember now. But I had a look at this sign, and it's Fortress is Festing or something in Norwegian. I can't see the sign properly. Oh, it's snowy now. September's a great time to go to Norway, by the way. A little bit drizzly, but still sunny. Not snowy at all. And there's not many tourists. It's quiet. Just past like major tourism season. So I would recommend September if you ever want to go Norway. But anyway, I had a look at that sign, took a few photos, maybe did a video, I think. And I walked up through that gate there. Now it's not letting me do that. So we'll go here. And we'll see if we can get some interior. There we go. Can I go? Yes. So the first thing I saw when I came in here was this area. And I took a photo. And in the photos, it's more of like this stage bit is more like arched. Almost looked like a proper music festival kind of thing, mixed with a Viking style long barrow upside down. But I was like, okay, that's cool. Saw these buildings and things, but I saw that little gateway, and I was like, I want to go through here. So I went through here, and I have a photo that is almost identical to this in the video. So hopefully some of you are watching the video as well of the companion piece. You'll have to skip through some bits maybe, but it will help when I'm explaining stuff. But I have a video that looks exactly like this, picture even in the video. But I was like, you know what? That's a path. Looks like lots of people walk up that path. I want to go up this path. I want to go the path that looks like maybe you shouldn't go up there, but I'm going to anyway. So I walked up the path, walked up around here. Is it gonna give us anything? Yeah. So got up to here, up the top. Turns out everyone goes up here. It's fine. And I walked along here, and there are a couple of shots in the video that I took from around here of like the harbour and stuff, and kind of this view here. Like my photo's much better, much sharper in the video, but this view's great. What I liked as well was that I noticed, and I don't think I took a photo of it, annoyingly, but this building was 32. I spotted building 32, and I was like, ah, shit, nice, good sign. My hotel room as well was room 302, so I was like, oh, okay, we're getting some good, good omens for this trip. Now, you can get loads of boat tours and stuff around fjords and things around here. I didn't do that. I stood on the side, breathing in the fresh air, like, feeling that I was there, trying to, feel the moment. Watch ships coming in and going out again. I was like, I did think to myself, what's out there? Where'd you go? And I think you can go out here and you can go on like some fjord tours and stuff. And I think stuff like this is a fjord here. I'm not 100% what a fjord is, but I believe a fjord is a body of water surrounded by high mountains that is longer than it is wider. Like it's maybe twice as long as this wide. You lot in the comments can correct me, I'm sure. But I think that the long, thin ones with like mountains either side, basically. Oh fuck, that's Oslo Airport. Shit. Where did I go? Oh no. Was it here? That's not the fault. I've lost it. I've lost Norway. That's the train station. Okay. Which means the fortress is here. So yeah, stood on here for a bit, and I was just, that is the biggest boat I've ever seen. That wasn't there. It's got very kissable lips though. I would love to give that boat a smooch. I love kissing. And that boat looks like it would be a great kisser. That is the museum. It opens at 10. I got to the door at 9:50 and I was gonna go back, but the rest of the walk is downhill and I couldn't be asked to walk back uphill again. So I didn't go to that museum. I did go to a museum in this area though, but it's a different section of the museum. Now this bit here, very pretty. Are we going to be able to see? Here we go. Yeah, so I came out from here. There was no connected photos. So there were soldiers up there. First time I really noticed soldiers around. I took a photo of that flag. That flag's in the video. I went up here on this bit, had a look again off the side. I took a photo of that. In the video you can see the view down through those grates. And what I did was I walked down there. And it doesn't look like I can get there by clicking. Here we go. So as you can see, a bit steep. And it's all real cobbled. And I have a history of spraining my ankles. I haven't done it for many years, touched fake wooden stuff. But I always feel like my ankles are quite weak and prone to spraining. So walking down there, I was like, oh fuck, please don't sprain your ankle, Ian. I walked down here and past a bunch of soldiers. Walked all the way along here. I got to here. There was a group of I think they were Chinese tourists, like a tour group. And they're all taking photos here, and there is a photo, I believe. So none of this was here. Like, this is restoration work. All of this was restored. The whole thing, like all of this blue shit is gone. The whole it would look like a proper, castle fortress thing. So all that work had been finished by the time I got here. But there's some kind of like apple tree or something here. Is it that? Everyone was taking photos by these trees and things. I went up here, and I don't know if there'll be, maybe. No. So there is a photo of me. It's a selfie with this doorway in the background, and I was looking out. This is like a hole. You can walk in there, and there's like a barrier there, and you can look out this way at this stuff. So I took a selfie of myself in that area. So if you're watching the video and you see the picture of me with a doorway in the background, that was done in there. I also took there's a little video in there where I start the camera off at the back of this cannon and just lift the camera up so you can see what the cannon's pointing at. That was on that cannon or maybe that cannon. So I checked out these cannons, and then I walked down here, and then that's interesting. There's a fence there. There was not a fence there when I went there, so I walked onto the grass here, and I had a look in these windows, and this tower is completely empty. It's all just like an empty, cobweb-filled, wet tower full of old medieval stones. So I had a little nosy through the windows though, just to see if I could see anything cool in there. No, there wasn't anything cool in there. So I went up, and this is also interesting. So I think you can see it in a photo in the video, but these two spaces here, they actually have more modern, almost like World War II style cannons on them now, whereas all the other cannons seem like old, bronze cannons. I think they're bronze, because when bronze gets weathered it goes that weird green colour. But yeah, there should be a photo in the video where you can see a couple of more modern World War II cannons pointing off that way. So I checked out the cannons, wandered down here, wandered past here. This wall here. I don't know if we'll see it. No. So when I was there, this wall had, well, it was still a wall, but it had a cover on it which gave details of the history of the place. And it was like one portion was in Norwegian, and there was a bit in Japanese, a bit in German, a bit in English and stuff, just talking about probably to hide a nicer way to hide some of the leftover work stuff. See up there, you can see the kind of the hole that I stood by, and that is a glass panel there, like a safety thing so people don't fall out. So I stood and took my selfie there, facing outwards, but the camera was pointing back in. So anyway, I walked up here and I went for a wee in the toilet, as you do. No connecting photo. So down there is the exit. And I went there and I stood on this bridge. And I was like, oh, that's the exit. Looked at my clock. I was like, oh, there's way more time left. Maybe I'll go and visit the museum again. Maybe I will go up the hill to visit the museum. And I was like, it's quite high, but do you know what? I'm only going to be in Oslo for another couple of hours. Let's make the most of it. This is where I got to. This is the area that was all blocked off for soldiers. Maybe it's... Oh yeah, the gates are there still. They were closed. It said military personnel only or something. So I went up round here instead. Followed this area around. And I got back to the place with the music stage by the water. At this point, it had gone past 10 and things had opened. So there was, these doors were open and stuff. I looked in, just like printers and office stuff in there. This must be the military stuff. I don't think it's for public access. But I did see the visitor centre. So I went to the visitor centre, and maybe there'll be something inside the visitor centre, who knows. So inside the visitor centre is a little mini museum. And on one side there's a display of props that they used for some kind of Norwegian film or TV series set in there. So prop rings, prop dresses, what was it? Prop crown. There was also and there's a picture in the video of it. There was also in the corner, like a little, I didn't play on it, but there was some kind of game set in the castle where you could control either an owl or a cat. And I took a picture of the screen, and then I took a picture of the controller, because the controller was the same controller as the one used in that submarine, the Titanic one, the Logitech one. And I was like, oh, and then I thought, that's kind of insensitive. I won't, I won't tweet out about that. But it was the same kind of controller. So I checked out that, and then I went to this side, and this side is a museum, free museum about the prison, because there was actually a prison on this site as well. And in the video you can see a photo which tells a story about this guy who was a complete and utter madman. And basically what he did, like he killed a guy, got sent to prison here, and then was put in solitary confinement because he kept like instigating riots and things, and all the other prisoners were scared of him. They called him a madman. And while he was in solitary confinement, his job was to paint toys or something. He was painting something, but he had some tools, and he gathered some tools, and he gathered over time screws and things, and a big pair of scissors, and then he took the leg off his bed. And he hammered all these nails through this bed leg, and then hammered nails over this pair of scissors to kind of lock the scissors onto the bed leg to make a bludgeoning tool. So it's kind of like Negan's baseball bat but instead of barbed wire, nails, and then like a hefty iron pair of scissors on there. And basically the guard who brought food to the solitary confinement prisoners, he bludgeoned him to death with this weapon, and then a couple of days later he committed suicide in his cell. And in the display and in the video is the actual murder weapon on loan from somewhere, but the actual murder weapon that he made is in there, and it's fucking gnarly to look at in real life. You're like, how the fuck? That's mad that someone could make something like that in prison, like get their hands on stuff to make something that brutal. There were some pictures of the tower where he stayed, so I had a little wander around to this area, and this is the tower where he stayed. And I think solitary confinement was on the 2nd floor, but I don't know, maybe that's the 3rd floor. Either way, somewhere in here that guy stayed and did his murdering in this building here. There's a plaque there. I didn't read it because it was in Norwegian, but yeah, so this section was a prison for really bad people, and that guy was the baddest of the bad. So bad that he's got a museum thing dedicated to how bad he was. By that point though, it was getting time to kind of head to the train station. So I was like, okay, I'll wander around somewhere past the museum. Was it this? Is it? Ooh, what was that? Where's this? I didn't go to this bit. This looks like this looks crazy. Alright, mate. I don't know. I didn't go to that bit. I don't know where that is. Armen's Depot. That was another one. Another 32 I spotted. 1832. So I wandered up here, took a right here, and then saw this building and loads of people on it. And I was like, I want to go on that. That is some kind of weird glass structure, like modern art thing, made out of like weird panes of glass from a skyscraper, all just like someone's got a skyscraper jigsaw and just emptied them out onto the side there and left them. I don't know what it's there for, but it looked cool. This area, in fact, is all under construction here, but when I was there, and you can see it in the video, that area is full of shops and things. There's a sculpture and stuff there. I don't know how old these pictures are, but yeah, there's definitely way less construction work going on in Oslo now. Also, this area was way busier, so I came out from this road and walked along here. And this area, I think these are floating saunas. So, you know, like saunas, the steam rooms and stuff. Big in Norway. Here there's only like 3 of them, but when I was there was so many. There was like a huge, like, just hustle and bustle, like massive collection of these floating saunas. Look, these people have just been in the sauna room, I guess. But there's like, again, you should see a picture of it in the video. Like, I took it from there, and you can kind of see that there's like loads of stuff in this harbour here, and they were all like, the ramps down, and then they were saying, please wait here for the sauna master. They will direct you. And it smelt like wood smoke, like they'd been, you know, the saunas were going and they were being, you know, heated by, you know, it's proper wood smoke fires. There's a few more here actually. From this view you can kind of see. I don't know if it will change. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, so that dome one was there, that was there. This is more modern, this is more recent. But there's a load of different floating saunas on there. You could go and pay and just, you know, get hot and sweaty in a sauna. in the middle of Oslo if you really wanted. So I wanted up here anyway. And I went down this path. And this is like the opera house kind of thing. I think it's the opera house. Museum-y thing. You can go on it. It's quite steep. It's not massively steep, but you know, you have to lean forward and walking up it. You can go right to the edge. I walked all the way up this bit. And you can see a video I took from this area here, and yeah, down here. I mean, there's a building there. They've built a big building there since. And there's like loads of other stuff there. I took a video from there. I wandered over this bit. There's a picture of a seagull, which I took. The seagull was right there. It let me get real close to it. And then I was like, well, let's walk back down here, walk along here, and then we'll get right to Oslo Central Station, which is where I needed to be for my train. And I only had about half an hour left. So I went and I bought myself I had my first pumpkin spice latte of the year. And I sat on these steps and I drank it. And then I looked and found out where my train was. And it was like around, I think it was like this platform here, platform 1, I think it was. So I went and I got my seat on the train. And then I waited and off it went. Through Oslo and off. And now this is where the train journey is weird. You get a special train from Oslo to Bergen, and Bergen is like there, I think. But it doesn't do a straight line. First of all, it kind of hooks down and up. So you go past. Maybe we'll see the train line. This is it's the road. The train line might be here. Maybe that is the train line. Either way, you go past all these like massive, like these look small here, but when you're there, going past them in like real life, it looks like the sea. You can almost not see, like this distance here is almost too far to see the land. The curvature of the earth is like, fucks it off. You're like, what the fuck? This is massive. Am I by the sea? And then you look on Google Maps, you're like, no, I'm in the middle of bloody Norway. But yeah, it kind of hooks right around. And this train journey lasts for 5 hours. The train journey from Oslo to Bergen is like 7 hours. But I went from Oslo to Myrdal, so I could go to Flom. But anyway, it hooks around here, and then it goes and it follows some shit. I don't know. Follows all the way along, and you can see, and it's just like my mum phoned me and was like, how was Norway? What did you do on the train? Did you read a book? I was like, no, I looked out the window. Like, I had a bit of a sore neck in the end, because like it's just every view is insanely beautiful, and there's so much to see. Thanks for Super Chat. T Thrifting Finds. We're all moved into our new place. Oh, congratulations. I'm so glad to see this stream. How about visiting Alcatraz Island in San Francisco, California? If I have time, T Thrifting Finds, I will, but this one is more about my holiday in Norway. I'll try and sneak it in at the end, if I can though. But yeah, hopefully you didn't move to Alcatraz. If you did, Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery might be able to get you out. But yeah, congratulations on the move. Glad it went smoothly, and you're all into your new place. Anyway, in the video, at this point, there's lots of scenery, pictures, and videos. And you can kind of see the way the scenery changes as it goes. I don't know where the train track is. Like, it could be this actually. That could be right. It goes along the road as well. But like, you go past like stunning mountains and little towns. And are we gonna get any Google Street View of these roads? Here you go. So yeah, these are all things. I think it could be. Well, there are many lakes and things I went past, but so many views like this. The train goes past somewhere, like the train track maybe up there or whatever. Or it could be in a different place, but you just get these amazing views all the way, and it's wonderful. And what you'll notice in the video, if you watch the video, is that as I get closer to Myrdal, you end up in the mountains, and it goes from like green trees and big lakes to these kind of like rocky wildernesses almost, with lakes and stuff. But I'm trying to find like a road or something. It's just I've done these like kind of visiting my viewers on Google Earth videos before, and and I've gone to, one of the reasons why I wanted to go to Norway in the first place was because of seeing amazing sights in Norway, like places where there were just like really remote houses in like in places you're like, how the fuck did that place even get? Who lives there? What's their life like? What kind of circumstances leads them to like living in a place like that is so remote? So yeah, it's kind of like this, it gets kind of Death Stranding-y, just like rocks, little waterfalls, and just clouds touching the mountains, and like just rubble and just wilderness. And the train goes past, and I'm just like imagining like the lives of the people that live in those places, and you see like this is a great example, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to get any like street views of it, but how does that how do they get to their houses? Where's the road? Like these people, and there were so many of these like kind of buildings that you could tell they were lived in, but they were just like lived in just one or two people, and their back garden was this amazing lake, and you couldn't see any like roads to their places or anything. It's like nuts. I'm like, wow, must be such a peaceful life, but also if you run out of toilet roll, a real pain in the ass, literally, to get some more. So the train from Oslo follows right through the mountain, goes through some big tunnels, and it comes out in a place called Myrdal. And the train in Myrdal stops here, and even though Myrdal is a train stop and a place, there is not much to do. There is literally just a train station, and then like a couple of houses which I presume are owned by the people who work at the train station and maybe in the shops. Maybe like that one is owned by the person who runs the bike rentals or something. But they're surrounded by these snow-capped mountains, and you can see there's a video. When I got here, this train is the Oslo to Bergen train. When I got there, the next train I had to catch was there and ready to pull off. So I literally jumped off and jumped on the Flamsbana train. But on the way back, I had to wait for a little bit here for this train, and I heard a helicopter. And up here, there must have been a rock slide or a potential rock slide, because there was loads of workers in orange jackets, and there was a helicopter kept flying from like over there with these big girders, like putting them into position and hovering them in position while the workers like attach them there, building some kind of like rock slide defense. Then you can see that in the video as well. Like you can hear the helicopter whirring and everything. But like I was like, and there's an amazing shot actually of the helicopter quite low, then flying off, and then I turn around and I pan the camera around just as the train is pulling in. So it's like you see trains, helicopters, and all in this like mad mountainous wilderness. Now, one of the main reasons I came to Norway was to go to Flom and ride the Flamsbana, which you will see a lot of video. You will see a lot of in the video. And you can actually, because I did it, you can Google, well, you can YouTube Flamsbana cab cam, and you can watch from the front of the cab the drive. It takes an hour, the drive, but it starts here, it pulls up here, and then it chuffs off. And it's a shame we're not going to be able to follow the track too well VR style. But this is a famous train track for multiple reasons. One, it's one of the most beautiful views in the world, but also because it was like an insane feat of engineering. Is there any? I want to find a good view. It's really hard to get your head around how they've built it. Here we go. This is a good view. So, this bit here is like the train goes through there. These are supports because it's kind of like under the mountain a little bit, and you can see through there. But there is also another bit just up there, which is like this, but a lot shorter. Now, it looks out over this insane valley, and when you're going down the train, the best way, I think it's left-hand side is the best side when you're going down, right-hand side is the best on the way up. But what is nuts is that it comes down, the train comes down here, and you're sitting on the left-hand side, and you can see this valley from this little break in the tunnel there. And then what it does, and I'm not going to take my face away from the ball of truth because I'll lose this position, is the track then goes up and around in a kind of... Oh, there. It was not there, it's there. So it goes through the tunnel, and it goes there, and you can see from the left-hand side this valley, right? But then it goes out, and it kind of does almost like a figure of 8. And so then it comes back, and then going through this bit... Wait. It's really... I can't get my head around it, but that bit you can see out of the valley from the left-hand side, and then that bit you can see out of the valley from the right-hand side, or maybe it's the other way. Maybe you go... Actually, yeah, it goes round behind the mountain, comes this way, and you can see out of it from the right-hand side, and then it figure of 8s really slowly, because it's so steep that they had to like trail the track round through the mountain at like such a crazy angle that it made a figure of 8. So you see out of it the right-hand side there, and it goes back through the mountain, and then all of a sudden you're seeing out the same view from the left-hand side. Oops. And it's nuts. And then it comes all the way down, goes down round there, comes down here. This bit here, so there's a big waterfall here. This bit here is the old road that the workers used to go down when they were building the train line and everything. Nowadays it is a hiking and cycle route, but there's also up there a zip line that you can do to come down to like somewhere like halfway down or like down the bottom. So next time I go here, I don't know if I'll zip line it. I want to cycle, but you can zip line right down, and then at the bottom around here there's another bike hire, and then you can cycle, because I really want to do this again, but like cycle it and have like ultimate freedom. of what I see and what I do, because you're kind of at the mercy of the train. Although the train is kind of cool because some of the windows come down, you can stick your head out, and I really enjoyed like leaning out, sticking my head out, and like, you know, like breathing in the fresh air, and then going through the tunnels and like kind of smelling the train smell. But yeah, this train basically, oh yeah, so there you go, like comes down there, goes that way, kind of like figure of eights it back again, and then round. And then it follows this valley all the way down. This person's walking it. So the train, I don't know where the train is at this point. Probably up there somewhere. But you can, yeah, if you don't want to take the train. So what some people do is they will come from Bergen and they will come into Flom on a fjord cruise. Then they will get the Flamsbana train up the hill. And then they will get a bike and they'll come back down again on the bike, or they will hike back down. But it goes all the way around here, and there are like all the way there are these like beautiful little trickling waterfalls. Like it's like it's like all the snow and the rain and the cloud, you know, moisture just dripping down, and you're surrounded by it. There's the train track, 360 cam. It's just, yeah, just all, it's just mind blowing, like the size of it as you travel down it. It's like I was getting like a sore neck because I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. And the train, you know, there's the train line still. Someone's on the Flamsbana. So you can see that's what it kind of looks like. You can see videos of the inside of it on look at that guy. Of the inside of this train on my video as well. But yeah, it's just utterly insane, and it just keeps going. And the train ride, you're just like, at least for me, all the way on the train ride, I was like, I wish I could be walking down there. I wish I could be cycling down there. I wish I could, you know, cross this like little bridge. I mean, look at this little bridge with like a waterfall going underneath it. You just get a brief glimpse as you go past in the train. Although the train doesn't actually go that fast. The train goes at a speed where you can kind of drink in the scenery quite nicely. But it follows this river, and this river, it's all, you know, it's being fed from the mountains, and it's so clean and clear because it's all straight from the mountains that you could literally, I didn't do it, but you can, I heard, like just drink it, like it's that fresh that you could drink it. And it looks like insanely, like that insane color of green, like such a fresh, bright color. There's actually a point in the video where I stand here and I film the train coming, but we'll get to that bit. So the train, in the end, it comes into Flom here, and we're going to have some Flom. So this is Flom Centre. That's the supermarket where I got my breakfast banana and some snacks from. Is we going to be able to walk around here? Oh yeah. So there's often these big cruise ferries coming into Flom. There was one when I arrived, but by the next morning it had fucked off. Now in my video when I first arrived, it's really kind of cloudy, and I comment on the fact that you can't see the tops of the mountains because like the clouds were literally halfway up the mountain, so it created this kind of like roof that almost like it just cut off the top of the top half of these mountains, and it was a really weird effect. Like it was like being in a tunnel made by nature. So I got here anyway, and my hostel, the Bergen hostel, the last check-in is 6 or something, and it was past 6. So they sent me an email saying, if you get to the reception, we'll check you in. There'll be a note of what room is yours, so you can go and when you get to the room, the key will be in the door. You can go. This is like busy. So this is mega tourist season. Like September, most of these buses weren't there. This car park was completely empty. It was much more manageable. If you're not a big fan of crowds and tourists, you can kind of get an idea of that green I was talking about here, maybe. Like, it's crystal clear, but it has this kind of magical green tint to it. There, you can kind of see it there. Like, just some of the most purest, cleanest water I've ever seen, and it all goes into the fjord at the bottom. I think I took a photo of that house. I can't cross here for some reason, so we'll exit the ball of truth quickly. Now, on a previous visiting my viewers on Google Earth, I said, this was when I was like, oh, am I going to do it? I don't know, shall I do it or what? Or had I already said I'd do it? Had I booked my tickets by then? Can't remember, but in my video, I say, like, this is as far as Google Earth goes. It doesn't go any further to where my hostel is. But I stayed at the Bergen hostel. So down there is towards Flom. The train goes across that way. These people are all staying at the Bergen hostel. And it's kind of like an old farmyard. Hopefully we'll get some... is that one further back? There's a turning here, and I don't know if there's a street view for it, annoyingly. It doesn't look like there is. So in my video, there's a little picture taken at the turning into this hostel area. Oh, is this it? No. Yeah, the turning's down there. Basically, there's a yellow troll, a yellow troll just there that kind of is like saying Brakagard there, and the reception is there. And so I was like, okay, where am I staying? And it turned out I was staying in this building here. I had a 1-bedroom in a multi-room old farmhouse, shared bathrooms. Look at these big cows as well. I didn't see any big cows. There were little cows, not big fuck off Aberdeen Angus bastards. But yeah, so I walked up that way to there, and you can see some photos of that place from a distance in the video as well. But maybe we'll get something. What's this? Okay, well, it's getting closer. But so my bedroom window was facing out this way, and there is a bit in my video where I say it's like good morning, and I put my head out and look left and right, and then I look up and you can just about see it there. There's like a big waterfall there. You can just hear it cascading all through the night. It's like a really quite relaxing noise. Hopefully it doesn't look like there's many street views around here though, sadly, so we can't get a better look. But I stayed in there. I put my bags in there, decanted my bags into my little rucksack, and then I potted off back into town, back here. I was hungry. I wanted a beer. So wow, that is snowy. That is definitely not. I definitely recommend going in the sunny times rather than the snowy times. So this building here is the Flamsbana Brewery. And you're getting it round that side. although you can buy cans of beer from there to take out, which I guess is what that guy's doing. But in my video, this is where the fire pit thing was that I was sat at. It was very busy, even out of season, when there wasn't very many people around. It was fully booked, and I had to wait for a good hour before they had a table for one free. So I had a couple of pints of £9 Norwegian session ale. It was very nice indeed. Brewed locally, of course. In there, and the Korekis have been here as well. The Korekis in the Discord, they did a very similar trip to me. And what you can do in here, because there's loads of different locally brewed ales, and you can get a tasting board in there, and you can get 5 different types of ale in there. And they did the tasting board. I didn't do the tasting board because I was like, I'm on my own here. I don't want to get shit-faced on my own. I was already feeling a bit tipsy after 2 strong Viking ales in there. But that's a really nice place. If you ever go to Flom, I'd recommend booking a table. Even out of season, it gets busy. But go in there for definite. You can see pictures of the incredible burger I had and the chili ice cream. It was like ice cream with chili flakes on. It was nuts. It was like really hot chili flakes, but like really cold, delicious vanilla ice cream. And you can see pictures and video of that in my video as well. So I did that, and then by the time I'd done that, it was dark. So I walked all the way back in the dark, which was kind of eerie, I guess, but also quite cool. Like just being surrounded by these mountains and like generally quite quiet because I was there out of season. I walked all the way up here in the dark. Said hello to the people staying in the hostel. I didn't want to be the weird guy who just like randomly starts talking to people when they least expect it. So I was just like, hello, and went to bed. Set my alarm for 8. Went to sleep. Not very well. Had about 5 micro sleeps. I don't sleep very well, especially not when I'm in a different bed. But anyway, woke up, and then it was my day to leave Flom. But before I left Flom, I wanted to have an explore. So I came back here, and I came to this side I wanted to go right up to the water. And once again, there are pictures just like this that I've taken. This is definitely more wintry than it was when I was there. I was there shorts and t-shirt, but I took a few photos and videos of this area. So peaceful, so calm. And I walked up there, and just up there, and there's no connected photos I don't think, but just up here, and again you'll see this better in my video. So you can hire kayaks, and I think the Korekis kayaked on here as well, I think, from their photos that they shared on the Discord. But just up here, if you walk up there, because I saw a path, and I was like, that doesn't look like anyone's walked up that path very recently, and it goes up into the mountains. I want to see what's up there. So I went up there, and there was an old World War II memorial bunker there, and actually like around about here, maybe there somewhere, I read a sign about how in World War II an Estonian ship was moored here, hiding from the Nazis, and they sent some bombers in and they blew up the ship, and the captain died. He's buried around here somewhere. But yeah, Norway was not safe from the Nazis, and there was bunkers there for defending the people, and so you can go in there, and I do go in there in the video and have a look around. It's it's not very exciting inside it, but kind of cool bit of history. You can actually kind of see the way the clouds here are skirting the midsection of these mountains. It was like that, but they just covered the whole sky. After I did that, I then went to the supermarket. I walked across this bridge actually, and I took a picture of this bridge for one reason, and it's maybe you won't see it unless you're looking, but when I walked across this bridge there was just wet, naked footprints going along it. Someone, I don't know whether they'd been paddling just there or they'd gone surfing or what, but someone had walked barefoot across here and left a trail of wet footprints along, which I thought looked kind of cool. So I went to the supermarket, bought myself a little bit of food, and then I went over there to eat it, because there's a, are we gonna have a, maybe this is basically where I ate, because I remember this green, come on load, remember this green fence, but there's, so actually this is different. They've since this video has been, since this photo has been taken, this area has been raised up to a, kind of like a viewing thing almost, and then there's a series of benches here, and there's a picture of me sat with a bun in my mouth taking a selfie with this in the background, sat about here but on a bench, ate my bun, and I was like, I've still got like an hour and a half to kill, what am I going to do? Turns out Flom's not massive. I'll go to the train museum. So right by the train tracks here there is a free public museum. Sweaters and souvenirs, that was there. So this is the Flamsbana Museum. You can go inside the Flamsbana Museum and learn all about the history, why they made it, who made it, exactly who made it. You see photos of the people who actually made it. Lots of it was dug by hand, nuts. Some old trains and stuff. There's a couple of photos from inside there as well. I also went in the souvenir hall, bought a few little souvenirs, like a little book about the Flamsbana and stuff. I was like, what should I do now? So I was like, this building looks interesting. I walked up to that building. It's a hotel. Couldn't go in it. Well, I probably could have done, but I didn't. Instead, I walked up this way and up this road. And I was just, at this point, I was like, I'm just exploring now. So I walked up here. I'm actually surprised the Google car went up here, because this is a private road up the top. Oh, is it stop? So I've got a video of me kind of like my shadow waving, and then I go up to this area, and I look off there, I do some filming and some photos off this edge here. Oh, where have I gone? Where have I gone? And then from there, is it that bit? Yeah, from there I walked back along here, and then I noticed some like weird little trails up here. I don't know if anyone, oh yeah, here we go, yeah, someone's done it, nice. So there's these little walking trails at the back, and they're not particularly long. They kind of loop around, but they give you this, like, they're at a height where they give you these amazing views of Flom and the, you know, the mountains around. And I walked around them, and I spotted, oh yeah, I went to this bit. So these are like crazy little benches, so you can come up here. I went up here on my own obs. These two are with, you know, you come up with a pal, and one person can sit there, one person can sit there, and then you just get to look off at that insane view and just chill. So I sat there for a bit, soaked up the atmos, and I continued wandering, and I saw that some people had done some little cairn stone towers, and I thought, that's a cool idea, I'm going to copy them. So I picked up some rocks as I went, and then I found like a really cool like tree area around about here, and I made a very short little cairn, little tower of stones. And you can see that in the video as well. It was around here, actually, about this corner. Might even have been up on there, in fact, by this tree, somewhere around there. So if any of you ever go to Flom, if any of you are inspired to do a Norway trip and you go to Flom, go up here. See if you can check my video first, see if you can find it, and see if it's still there when you go there. And if it is, take a photo and let me know. But anyway, it was kind of up. It's like up in that corner there, and then you walk down here, and I walk down here, walk down there, and then that takes you back to the road, which is where I said, oh, I'll come back to this, because this is where, when I came down from oh fuck is it, is this taken before that path was made? I think that path must be a new thing, because it's not there. How bizarre. Huh. Anyway, well, the path, the little walk comes down here, and so I stood here, not right here, but I looked at my clock, and oh, that was it. So I still had an hour to kill. I've got my times mixed up. I've got my events mixed up a little bit. I still had an hour to kill, but I did notice that a train was just about to leave by looking at the timetable. So I'm like, shit, it's actually just about to leave. I'm going to stand here and film it go past. So like I was there for about 3 minutes when these went bing, 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 started lowering. So then I filmed the Flamsbana go off. So then I had an hour to kill. So then that was when I went and had my bun here, actually. Once I'd had my bun and chilled for a bit, then I came back here. Ooh, droney. So that's the place I had the beer. There you go, it's raised now in this picture. Oh shit, my keyboard fell down. That's where the World War II bunker is. There's the little beach, kayaking beach. So that's the rock where I film from, and that's where it gets to like a private road. And then yeah, here you go, the walks are there in this one. So I went up round there and down round there, came down around there. But yeah, I waited for the Flamsbana train to come. There it is. And then I got on the Flamsbana train. I said goodbye to Flom. And I went all the way back up. Now, one of the things that I didn't see, and maybe we'll get to see it here. Yes. So one of the things I didn't show on my way down was that the Flamsbana train actually stops for 10 minutes right here on this platform. And this is a huge waterfall, and it's so strong that the mist and the water just drenches you, like drenched the front of my camera and stuff. But in the video you'll see all of a sudden a woman in a red dress appears from this old building here, and then you hear this music playing and some singing, and she does these nuts dances around the top. And she's like I can't remember the name for the Higulder or something, like some kind of like goat spirit. It's basically a hot blonde Norwegian goat spirit who lures men to their doom because she's hot, blonde and goatee, I guess. But she yeah, like I guess someone has an office behind there, and they just sit there, and their job is to like wait for the train to come past every hour and then do a dance. It must be a bit of a bizarre job, but I'd love to have actually gone up there and seen what's behind. Actually, can we do that with this? There's the waterfall, there's the house. I mean, yeah, there's the bricks of the house, and then there's something inside there which kind of makes me think that maybe they've got a little structure in there, like a little cabin maybe where the woman like sits in there with a heater and I don't know, an iPad or something, Netflix. It looks like there's a little path leading to it, actually. So I don't know where maybe they live there, maybe that's the house, I don't know, but must mission there every morning and then or maybe they live there. Maybe they live there. Who fucking knows? Here's the train track though, it comes round. Yeah, just the most amazing train journey though. But anyway, ended up back here, Myrdal. I commented on this in my tweets actually. The train journey from Myrdal to what am I doing? I want to go up to Bergen. Is most of, like, a large percentage of it is literally through the mountains, and I had perfect phone signal the whole time. I can't even get perfect phone signal in this house right now, and I'm not at the top of a mountain, so fair play to Norway for having their shit together. I think that's the train line there, but there were some points in this train line where, and you can kind of see that the rapids there, it's like really steep drops, and there are points along this train track where I actually like got the fear of heights from it, because it goes along and literally you look out and you can't see a side. You are just on the edge of a cliff, like with a massive drop and like rushing water down below you. I'm kind of like, the fuck. I think it's probably around here actually. No, you're not going to be able to see it. Not going to be able to get a good idea. But yeah, I've never been scared on a train before. And then I looked off the side and I was like, holy funking schnit. This is the most craziest bloody train ride I've ever been on. It was almost a completely empty train, about 3 or 4 people in my carriage, if that, on the way down here. And then we got to Voss and it filled up, the train filled up. This is like quite a big town. I don't know what they do in Voss, but lots of people there. It filled up, and it was then busy all the way to Bergen, and I'm just gonna go Bergen, Norway. So there's Bergen. So there's Vossenbergen, which is close to Voss. Gello, I remember Gello. There's Oslo. So yeah, down there, around here somewhere close to Vossenbergen was Flom. And then all the way to Bergen. So there's the station. Nope. Come on. There we go. What time is it? I feel like I've been talking for ages. I'm facing a weird way. Fair play to Norway for having their shit together, Sister Tapion. Yeah, totally. Right. Okay, all seems good, all seems good. Alright. So, Bergen. Bergen was a weird one because my flight back from Bergen, my flight home was at 7:10 a.m. So I booked a hotel at the airport so that I could be sure I didn't miss my flight, which meant that I didn't get to spend very much time in Bergen. But I got to see the main kind of bits, I think. So this is the train station. I came out of here. You'll see lots of photos of this, these kind of areas. Maybe, yeah. So completely different vibe to Oslo. Oslo looks like a typical, just kind of grey, modern, boring city. Oslo, I enjoyed Oslo, but it just, you know, it could have been like London. There wasn't that much exciting going on visually. Whereas here, look at the colours of these houses, and they're all up the sides of the mountains. Much more of a kind of European vibe. All the different kind of window sills and like the red tiles, and even though Norway's technically not European, but you know what I mean. Anyway, I wandered along these roads and I was just like, Bergen's nice. I like Bergen. This is pretty. This is a pretty place. I'm like looking up at all these buildings as I walked. It was really sunny as well. It just stopped raining because there was puddles everywhere. But then the sun was quite low but really bright, so it was fucking with my filming and my videos. I took a photo of that picture. I don't know if that made the video. But around... oh, I didn't see that. I didn't look the other way. There's a troll on there. Huh. There was a cool like picture of an old lady with a cat somewhere that I took a picture of. But I wandered down here. I wandered lonely as a cloud. Because what I wanted to get to... there's definitely a picture... Oh, motherfucker. There's definitely a picture of me outside this church. Because, you know, if you've watched these visiting my viewers in Google Earth streams before, we do love a good church. Always seeing some crazy churches on those streams. Took a few photos by the church. This building has been completely cleaned up. There was none of this like broken plaster and horrible graffiti on it. Yeah, so I kept walking anyway because one of the main tourist points in Bergen is this place, which is called Bergen. And if you watched my video, you will know that Bergen is a collection of, I think it's 61 wooden houses. These ones with the cloths on are being renovated. That were built in 1071. Well, they were built before 1071, but they were standing in 1071 when Bergen was kind of named Bergen and became a big city. So this is like super historical. They're not all 100% the original materials, I'm going to say, but wandering through is quite an experience. I just want to stop quickly and look up at this unicorn. This is actually a pub. I had my last beer in Oslo. Actually, no, that's a lie. I had a beer. I bought a can of beer and had one in the airport, in the hotel airport. But that's a pub. I went in that pub and had a beer. Can we get... Yeah, so the streets in here are really cool. It almost felt like, if you've ever been to a Wild West world in a theme park, it kind of felt like a theme park Wild West world with all the like thin streets and weird architecture and like wooden buildings. Almost like it wasn't like, you know, these were fake facades and they weren't actually buildings, but they were actually buildings. There were shops in there and these like little things. These are old winches for getting stock into shops and stuff, I guess, back in the old days, furniture and things. So there's these bizarre walkways going between the buildings and stuff. Very, very special place with some old building. I've got a photo of that in the video. Yeah, lots of crazy old buildings in there. You can go up to the second level of places, and there's tattoo parlors and stuff in there. It's quite nice to have a little wander. It doesn't take you very long to wander through it all. It's just a couple of streets up and down, but yeah, really interesting. And most people who've been to Bergen will come here and visit this place. In fact, most pictures of Bergen from tourist brochures will show these, and even like if you look in tourist brochures just of Norway, you'll often see these. They're that famous and that historical. This is quite a crappy day in Norway. It was like this before I arrived, and then I brought the sun with me. Anyway, from there, I noticed that there was another fortress here. And one, I was like, I'll go and drink up a bit of history, because the other fortress was nice. I'll check it out. And two, what I learned from the other fortress is that the toilets are free and they're quite clean. So I was like, I need a wee, but I haven't this is before I went to the pub, and I was like, I don't want to just wander into a restaurant and go to the toilet without buying anything. That's rude. So I'll go to here, I'll drink up some history, and then I'll wee out some wee. So I went here to Bergen's fortress, Bergen, and again, huge military presence. And in fact, this building here, proper military building, it's covered in moss. Like, I don't know whether that's a camouflage thing for, like, to hide them from satellite views, but if we can go there, there's like a door. Yeah, here. So there's a little door here, gated off, and there was a soldier stood in there talking on a mobile phone. It was all gated off, and like up there, like it looked like industrially kind of equipment, and there was loads of army people like walking backwards and forwards from it behind there. So I don't know what that is in there, but lots of crazy army shit going on in there. Anyway, so I walked up here. Had a little said hello to the king, or Kong, I think it is, as they say in Norway. There were boats harboured along here, but in the place of that one, there's like an insanely big warship. One of those ones with the big weird radars on and like big gun turrets and stuff on. There wasn't, honestly, not much to see in... Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't get to go inside this hall. Kind of gutted I didn't, because that's quite cool. But it wasn't open when I was there. She didn't want to be on the camera, no. But I did walk around the outside of it and go into this area here. Is it going to show? Yeah. Oh, titties. This is quite a cool area to stand in. Just check out the old buildings if they load. That could be blurred off because there was military people in those. Oh no, it's coming. So I saw military people go into these buildings as well. But everything was closed when I was there, except for the toilets, thankfully. Just in case you're wondering. That's the toilet. In there. It was open and it was free. Yay me. At this point it was kind of getting late-ish, but not late enough to head off. I was like, what am I going to do? Have a beer. So I had a beer, sat in there for half an hour, took a few selfies. You can see a picture of me. I held my beer up out of shot, but you can see it in the mirror. Had a beer there, and then I was like, I was feeling hungry, but I'm also like was aware that I was already overspent on my budget. What I was planning, because I'm not very rich, is that what I was planning is that I was just gonna like go and have sandwich meals and stuff, you know, Tesco value meals and stuff like that. But there aren't any I couldn't find any shops that did like meal dealy type things like that. So in the end I was just like, oh fuck, I'll do but in this one I was like, I can't really afford another big meal, so I'll find a shop. And I found a supermarket called a Bun Pre, and it was terrible. There was like one sandwich in there that was gross. And but anyway, I came here, and one of the last videos in my video is me walking along here towards this fountain, and there's loads of seagulls and stuff here. But this is a great view. You get a good sense of it from Google Earth VR here. Just like the perspective when I go up of just how high all the buildings are, and you know, what a beautiful sight all these mountains were from the sides and everything. So I had a little look there, had a little look at this. This is a very beautiful little bandstand. Some really nice flowers on it and stuff. Very pretty, very pretty. From there, I trotted on over to here. Like, I was like So this is serendipitous. I was like, I don't actually know how I'm going to get to... That was another reason why I didn't have a meal, is because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to get to the airport. I'm not sure I understand how the buses work here, but there is Uber. And Uber was like the equivalent of like 45 quid to the airport. And I was like, oh, fuck. But as I was walking towards this thing here, because I was like, oh, let's go here. Let's go check this out. As I was walking past, I think I walked down here, and I looked to my right, and this is a tram. And I remember reading in the tourist guide that the tram is the cheapest and the most convenient way to get to the airport. And you have to find number 1 tram, and it's not showing up here. But this is where you get the number 1 tram. And I walked right past it, and I was like, that's number 1 tram. It says I can't remember what it is, the name for the airport, Lufthaven or something. I can't remember, but yeah. So I was like, shit. Okay, so I'll get my food. Come back to here, got on the tram, paid like the equivalent of 4 quid for a tram ride, which then took me all the way over here. Is it this way? Yeah, all the way over here, round here, to the airport. And the airport here looks like it's being constructed as well. I guess I missed a lot of construction. But Bergen Airport was where I stayed, and I stayed in... could it have been this hotel? Yeah, it was this exact hotel. The Carrion? It's that hotel that I stayed in anyway. So I stayed in there. From the bun pre shop where I bought my bad sandwich, I bought like a tropical IPA, and I sat up there and had my IPA and ate some sweets. Had another restless night's sleep, and then in the morning did a walk to the plane. Like, my alarm went off at 4 a.m. So I got to the airport for 5 a.m. 4 a.m. would have been 3 a.m. UK time. Got to the airport. Plane was on time. Got on the plane. Fucked off. Went back to England. And England. Says I should be just to buy it. Scotland. And then, yeah, ended up back in Gatwick. So I went from Oslo to Myrdal to Flom to Bergen and back to Gatwick, all in the space of 3 days. And I did it all by myself because I'm a big, brave boy now. So, yeah, that was my holiday. And I hope you enjoyed hearing me chat shit about it for 2 hours. Oh shit. I would 100% recommend doing that journey. There are different ways you can do it. Why is that not letting me do it? There's one way you can do it called Norway in a nutshell. So instead of... Why can't I search? Why is that not working? Canada? What the fuck? Instead of doing what I did and going back up the Flamsbana and then getting the train onto Bergen, what you can actually do is you go Oslo to Myrdal, the Flamsbana down to Flom, and then you go on a fjord tour on a cruise ship, a small one or a big one, whatever, and they go all the way to somewhere And then you get a bus to Voss, which is that place where I said loads of other people got onto that. Maybe that's what they'd done, actually. You get the bus to Voss, and then you get back on the train to Voss, and then go to Bergen. And that entire trip is called Norway in a nutshell. That's how you get to see the best that Norway has to offer, basically. Definitely not Alcatraz Island in Canada. I don't want to save that either. Why doesn't... I don't know why Google Earth doesn't want me to go to Alcatraz, but it's around here somewhere. There he is. Alcatraz. Never been there, but I feel like I know Alcatraz quite well, because at one time on Eurogamer I did a video where I compared Alcatraz, real life Alcatraz, to the recreation of Alcatraz that they'd done in I think it was Watch Dogs 2. And I used people's home videos for it. But things like the prison yard was spot on. And they did a very good job of... There you go, you can go inside, look. They did a very good job of recreating the interior as well as the exterior in I think it was Watch Dogs. No, yeah, I think it was Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs 2, I think. There you go. Quick look at Alcatraz for teeth thrifting finds. Sorry I couldn't spend more time in here, but it was more of a me natter on about my holiday stream, because you know, you lot technically, in a way, came on holiday with me. If you you know, I was spamming my Instagrams and my Twitters and my Blue Skies and stuff, and I figured, you know, finish it off and show you all around. So yeah. Oh yeah, and the new Resident Evil animated movie was in there as well. Yeah, you're right, Gavin. You are right, indeed. Did you pick up any other Norwegian just from overhearing or reading it a few times, says Andrew Steen? None. None really. I had like a list of stuff on my phone, but the only things that stuck were please, var så snill, and thank you. Tusen tack. The rest of it I didn't know. Everyone speaks such good English there that I just was Mr. Beaning my way around, looking like nervous, probably. But yeah. Oh, Santo Atheist says, my uncle was there towards the end of its use as a prison. He tried and failed at counterfeiting. Wow, that's kind of cool. Bonkers. Well, yeah, anyway, that was the end of this stream. Hope you've enjoyed a little look at my holiday. I'll do another proper visiting my viewers in Google Earth VR at some point soon, when we can go and visit you lot as well. But I just had a nice time reminiscing, showing you around my holiday. Thanks for the photos and videos when you were there and this stream. I loved seeing it, says Gavin. You're welcome. You're welcome. There will be more streams on this channel this week. I'm not 100% sure what yet. Probably the Resident Evil 4 Ada Wong DLC, because I've got that and I haven't played it yet, and that, you know, I like to stream Resident Evil games and things, so probably that. And then of course on Friday there will be the usual community stream as well, so I will hopefully see you all there, even if I do have a safe time, and I hope you all have a good night today, stroke whatever time of the day it is for you. And yeah, remember, if you go to Flom, try and find my little rock tower. Bye!